And welcome. I'm Vlad Serban, and my team members are Lillian Huston, Katelyn Pfundstein, and Sadhana Sudireddy. And today we will be presenting to you our web application named Consolidev. Consolidev is a place where people can utilize various developer tools to assist developer needs ranging from an API request builder to base64 encryption and decryption to JWT token decoding. This is the landing page of our website, and users who are not logged in will only be able to view this web page. In order to gain access to the tools, users will be able to create an account with us and register. I will now demonstrate the registration process. We do have safety checks to ensure the proper security of our website. Passwords need to be at least 8 characters long and with a unique username, and passwords are not stored in plain text. They are hashed and stored in the database as hashes. We will now demonstrate the login process once a user has created their account. Upon successful login, we can see and have access to all of the developer tools. All of these links are clickable, and we can be able to view and utilize the tools demonstrated. From there, users can pick their favorite tools and add them to a favorites bar so they have easily access. We will demonstrate the base64, JWT decoder, and the JSON tools as our favorite tools. We click update favorite tools, and we will see now they're on the nav bar and are pinned, and you have easy access to all of your favorite tools. On the right side, we have a drop-down that allows you to view all the tools even if they are not favorited. Whenever a tool is ran, we can utilize the database in order to store the information and gain meaningful reports about the information. We will now demonstrate the base64 encoder and decoder. This is used primarily in security purposes, so I will now do a demonstration. And this encoded in base64 will equal this string right here. And if we want to decode this base64 string, we can simply do the reverse, and it will now give us our original. From there, we can view the history of all the things that a user did on our website. In the future, we might implement analytics to further demonstrate this capability. Next, we have the JWT decoder within it. This is useful for interpreting and extracting the payload of a JWT token. I have a JWT token that we are now going to decode. Users will simply just paste it into the code, and from there we can see the decoded JWT token in all of the fields. And from there, we can view the history of their JWT token decoding fields within the token. The next tool that users have the ability to use are hashing tools. Hashes are what used to store passwords and other sensitive information such as the password to this website. We will demonstrate the SHA-256 hashing algorithm. We will simply place the word password into the input box and click hash. This is the equivalent of the word password using the SHA-256 algorithm. All of these algorithms are unique and will produce a different result. If I use MD2, the word password will reveal a different phrase. This is the MD2 hash of password. Going back to the main screen, we will now demonstrate our final tool. This is the JSON validate. JSON is a commonly used format to store strings and fields and use other user information. We will now demonstrate a JSON string. This will validate if it is true or not. According to the website, there are no errors detected in the JSON string that I just entered. However, if we were to manually produce an error such as forgetting a comma, it'll give an error saying invalid JSON with a syntax error. This will allow us to easily demonstrate if our JSON code is error-free and good. If not, it will display an error. Now that I've finished demonstrating my tools, we can navigate back to the home page, and then we are able to finally log out.
Hi, I'm Katelyn Pfundstein, and I'll be covering a few more tools from our application. This next tool is our case converter, which enables users to enter any text and convert it into uppercase or lowercase. We've also got camel case, kebab case, and snake case. All of these cases are very useful in the programming environment, and this tool makes it easy to convert between them. I'm going to show you a little demo here. We'll start with camel case, and I will just enter some text into the text box. Hello world. And when I click submit, it should take what I've entered here, hello world, and turn it into camel case with no spaces and the second word capitalized. And as you can see, we have our result right down here. And there are lots of programming languages that use camel case. So that one is very useful. We're going to try another case here. Let's try snake case here. I know Python in particular tends to use snake case. Again, I'm going to enter the same text, hello world. And when I hit submit, we should get our snake case version of this below. And as you can see, there it says hello world. And you can just copy this and paste it into your code as needed. And that makes it really easy to do. The next tool that we are going to be demonstrating for you today is the difference checker. And our difference checker takes two bodies of text and compares the differences between them. And it compares the number of differences in characters. And when you enter a body of text into this first text field and a body of text into the second, and you hit compare, underneath you should get a tally of the number of characters that are different. And then in these two text boxes here at the bottom, you should see the differences highlighted. So let me give you an example here. I'm going to put, and as you see, these are the exact same. There's no extra white space or anything. So when I hit compare, we should see the number of differences be 0. And as you can see, again, down here it says 0, and there's no highlighting on our text down here. Now, I can add an extra word to one of them, doesn't matter which one, and you'll see how that changes. And then compare, and you'll see that it counts the number of characters, including white space, that is different between the two texts. And then below, you can see that it highlights that extra stuff, that difference. This is an excellent tool to use if you have two versions of code. One's been modified and you're trying to figure out exactly what changed. The code for this difference checker is very interesting. We utilize several different libraries. There are some open source libraries called diff, match, patch. And we utilize these to help do the comparison between each of the bodies of text. And then again, that library helps us to count not only the characters, but also highlight the differences between the two. And then the final tool that I'm going to show you guys is the paragraph to one line. This tool is excellent if you're working in the terminal or the command line. So if you're trying to put something in and you find like a snippet of code on the web and it's multiple lines, you need to put it into one line so you can put it into the command line. So I'm going to just put some example text in here. And you should see when I hit submit that this will come together and be all one line at the bottom. And there you are. Now, all of these tools do interact with our database. We made sure that all of our tools create a log of when they've been used. Some tools create a more detailed log with exactly what you did. For smaller tools like these three, we didn't feel it was necessary to keep track of exactly what you put in there. So these three tools all keep the same thing in the database, and that is your username and the time that you use that specific tool. The only one that is a little bit different is the difference checker does keep track of the number of differences it found, but otherwise those are all three the same. I do also want to talk to you a little bit about the styling of our web app. I did the lion's share of the styling for our page. As you can see, as we go around the website, that we have gone for a really clean look. I know that developers don't want a lot of visual clutter as they're trying to work. So we went with a very simple color palette of this white and black and blue color. And then as a small accent, you'll see occasionally this gold color. As I hover over various things, some things will turn gold. Chose to just stick to a very limited color palette and a very limited selection of fonts to not create any extra visual clutter. We also make use of regular like tool cards throughout. You'll notice on the landing page, there are tool cards that you can see the description of each tool. On our home page here, you see these tool cards. In our managed favorites, again, tool cards. This kind of creates a visual cohesion between everything. And then finally, we also worked very hard to make sure that we were putting in media queries. So that way, when we make things smaller or you're looking at this on a phone, it still looks good. So you can see when I close this up a little bit, you can see all of this shifted and has it still looking good, even though it's smaller.
Hi there, I'm Lillian Huston, and today I'm going to be talking about the duplicate finder and remover and the timestamp converter tools for Consolidev. First, we'll start with the duplicate finder and remover. The duplicate finder and remover is great for identifying duplicates in a string. The user has multiple choices of delimiter to choose from. They can enter a string separated by commas. They can choose their delimiter, and when they hit find duplicates, it's going to output the duplicated item and the number of times that it appears. Additionally, over on the duplicate remover, you can go ahead and take that string, paste it here. We'll use comma as the delimiter, and it's going to remove the duplicates. So the output for this would be A, B, C, F. Additionally, the duplicate finder and remover can find duplicates and remove duplicates based on white space. This shows that the number 1 appears 3 times and the number 2 appears 2 times. If we take it over to the duplicate remover, we should see 1, 2, 3, 4 in that correct order. Items are removed in order. We have this lovely little feature here that's the favorites bar, and I've gone ahead and favorited the timestamp converter. The timestamp converter is great for converting date times. So if I was born December 6, 1995 at 10:49 a.m. and I was born in Detroit, look at that. I can go ahead and search it by typing in. If I was born in Detroit and I wanted to know what it was in Chicago when I was born, I would go ahead and hit that and I'd convert the time, and my conversion results would show down below. The timestamp converter is a great tool for developers working across time zones with other team members. Overall, these tools, along with others in the Consolidev suite, are designed to streamline repetitive tasks that developers face daily. By showing both the user-facing features and the underlying code, we hope to demonstrate how thoroughly we designed and implemented these solutions.
Hi everyone, my name is Sadhana, and I'll be going over the last two tools within our Consolidev web application. So the first one is the API request builder, and this allows users to easily build and test API requests in the same tool. So I'm going to include an API endpoint, an HTTP method, and since it's a post method, I'm going to include a body here. And I'm specifically creating a new user profile from the Pixela API. So as you can see, it has successfully created the user profile and I can view it. Now I want to delete this, so I'm going to, within the same tool, use the delete HTTP method and include a header to authenticate this request. Now if I send the request, it has successfully deleted my profile. And within the database, what is saved is the endpoint, the method used, the headers, and the body, and these are all linked to the user's account. Now, next is the Markdown to HTML converter, and using Markdown syntax, one can basically convert their Markdown to HTML code. So I'm demonstrating here with the header and ordered list, as well as bold and italic text based on the tooltip Markdown syntax provided. So now if I convert this, what I get to see are three things: the original Markdown, the HTML source code here, which I can then copy and paste, and the rendered HTML output, which shows me exactly what it looks like. Within the database, what is saved is the Markdown, original Markdown, and the HTML that's outputted, and this is also linked to the user's account. And that is all for our Consolidev web application at this point. In the future, we do plan to add data analytics features that enables users to both track their tool usage and view their detailed history. In addition, we do want to add new tools like a code formatter, a color contrast checker, and a password generator. Thank you for watching.